It is a Wednesday. That means pick day. What is up, football fans? Yes, today is Wednesday. Normally I put the picks out on Wednesday. Sometimes I put them out on Thursday. Tomorrow, me and Big O are going to get together, so that's a little bit different of a schedule shift. Me and Big O's episode is going to be released tomorrow, Thursday, before the Thursday night game. But before we jump into all this good stuff, I do have to shout out two people. One, the new members in Swartzy1421, Ronald Lovett, and Mary Ann Triboli. Thank you guys so much for becoming members. If you'd like to become members and Patreons, Patreon linked in the description. Members are the join button next to the subscribe button. Also, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, and that is Prize Picks. If you don't know about Prize Picks is a daily fantasy app where you go in and you make your entries on different players. So I'm going to essentially show you how it works on my phone live as I go. So you can see here they do baseball, they do basketball, they do NHL, they do NFL, soccer, PGA, all that good stuff. But, you know, being that we're NFL, we're going to go with football. And you can see here you could pick whether passing yards, rushing yards, or receiving yards, field goals made, kicking points, interceptions, punts, all that good stuff. And essentially you go through, let's go with rushing yards, right? And we'll pick Dalvin Cook, being that he is playing against the Miami Dolphins. And let's go with Nick Chubb. You go to finalize your entry, and you come here and you see their projection of projected rushing yards of 78.5, and you pick whether you think he'll get more or less. And you see the projection of Nick Chubb as 9.5, 95.5 yards. You can pick more or less, and then you can also add your entry, how much you want, and there you go. You can also go back and you can pick quarterbacks, passing yards, like Carson Wentz, Justin Fields, Kirk Cousins, up to 5 selected here, and you can go in and you can see their projection. Carson Wentz, 227.5 yards, Justin Fields, 165.5 yards, and Kirk Cousins, 270.5. And you pick more or less, and you have a chance to win up 10 times your money. So if you use the promo code DDW, you get 100% of your additional deposit up to $100 matched. So you deposit $100, use the promo code DDW, you get $100 matched. So be sure to go check them out. Prize Picks, download the app, use the promo code DDW, get 100% of your deposit up to $100 matched, and go out there and have some fun because this app is amazing. Alrighty, this week I do not have a guest, but don't worry, next week I do have a guest in line. But this week, no guest, so it's just going to be me talking about football, and I'm going to get one of your comments of the day. Yes, we are getting back to that. I do apologize for slipping off. It was crazy the past couple weeks. I'm going to get back to that. Let's pop up the first game, and that game is tomorrow night's game. The Washington Commanders taking on the Chicago Bears. And if you don't know why I say it like that, I'll pop it up. So the Commanders, Washington's getting one. So this is a very close, crappy game. Another Thursday night game that Amazon Prime is just like, you can only watch it on our stuff, but they are horrible games. I'm actually going to go with Washington this one. I know they're on the road. Maybe I'll switch this one. No, I'm going Chicago. I'm going to cross this out. I'm going Chicago. Just because they're home and Thursday night games, the home team always has that huge advantage. The Commanders head coach throwing Carson Wentz under the bus. I don't know if you guys heard about that. But yeah, that's why I was going to go with the Commanders, because I think Carson Wentz is going to come out and have something to prove to, Ron Rivera and be like, shove it up your butt. But the fact that it's a Thursday night game and the Bears are home, I'm going with Chicago there. Then we have our next game here. Boop. It's the 49ers taking on the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons dealing with that horrible roughing the passer call. 49ers doing well, but they're also dealing with an injury bug heading to Atlanta. 49ers giving 5.5. I want the 49ers to lose. The Miami Dolphins own their first round pick. Right now, I think it's like 19th. I think we have the 19th overall pick. But I think the 49ers are going to win this one. Even with the spread of 5.5, I'm going to go with the 49ers in this one. They're just a better team right now. Next, we have the New England Patriots taking on the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns could not get it done against the Chargers, and the Patriots came out and just put in. The Lions had no chance in that game. But I'm going to go with Cleveland. Cleveland's giving 3. They're the home team. This is a very obvious spread. Even with the 3 points, I'm going to go Cleveland here. I think that Cleveland's defense and their offense and the weapons they have is not enough for New England to match. I think New England did a really good job of matching against Detroit, being that they're still kind of coming up on their own. But I'm going to go with Cleveland in this one. Then the next game we have the New York Jets coming off high, 3-2. You'd think that they're 5-0 the way they're reacting. Enjoy it. I'm just busting your balls. Taking on the Packers, who a heartbreaking loss to the Giants over in England. Tom Grassi, go check him out. He breaks it down in depthly about what is going on with Green Bay. Green Bay is giving 7. The fact that it is in Lambeau, the fact that, I'm going with the Packers in this one. Not because I want the Jets to lose. I do want the Jets to lose. But the fact that it's in Green Bay, I'm going with the Packers. But I would bet the Jets on that spread of 7. I think they cover that. But when it comes straight up, I'm going to Green Bay. And then we have a game where Jaguars taking on the Colts. Colts in that Thursday night game, that ugly game against the Denver Broncos. Boring game. Not one touchdown scored. And then you got the Jaguars losing to the Texans. I'm going the Colts in this one. Colts are giving 2.5. It's not in Jacksonville. If it was in Jacksonville, I would pick the Jaguars like I did. But it's home. So I'm going to pick the Colts. There's not much to say. Both teams are really... The AFC South is just bad. It is what it is. It's just bad. It's going to come probably down to the last week to see who... The Texans can still win the AFC South. Like, I understand that we're only 6 weeks in. This is week 6. But they just won their first game, and they still have a possibility of winning the AFC South because it's just that bad down there. Then we have the Cincinnati Bengals, who lost to the Baltimore Ravens. Ravens finally coming off that skid of losing 1-score games, taking on the Saints with Taysom Hill coming out and showing, why he should be a first-round pick of a trade. Bills are giving 2, even though they're on the road. I think Cincinnati is the better team here with Joe Burrow and all the weapons they have. The Saints... Don't look past the Saints, but I'm looking past the Saints. I'm going to go Cincinnati straight up with this one again. It's only a 2-point favorite there. Then we got the red hot New York Giants, who very easily could be 5-0 if not for that Cowboys game taking on those Baltimore Ravens, bouncing back 3-2. The Ravens are giving 5, even though they're the away team. Giants dealing with a lot of injuries. They're banged up. Daniel Jones is banged up. Saquon Barkley's banged up. They are a very banged up team, and they just traveled from England. I'm going with Baltimore in this one, even with the 5 points. I think Baltimore wins by at least a touchdown just because of how banged up the Giants are and the travel from England. Next, we have Tampa Bay taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Tampa Bay given 8.5, and the road team, Pittsburgh, got absolutely destroyed by the Detroit Lions. Tampa Bay beating the Atlanta Falcons. Again, not allowed to touch Tom Brady. You wonder why he's able to play till 45. It's because the NFL protects him like he's a fine china cabinet. I'm going with Tampa Bay on this one. The Steelers are in a rebuild. It is what it is. Even with Mike Tomlin out there, they're still not very good, and I expect a complete rebuild. So I'm going, even with the points of 8.5, I'm still going to go with the Bucs in that one. Then we have the Carolina Panthers. Matt Rule's gone. I think their defensive coordinator's gone. Baker Mayfield injured, taking on the Rams, who couldn't get out of their own way. This is an interesting one. It's in LA. The Rams are giving 10.5. I'm going with the Rams. Obviously, I'm going with the Rams. But my thought process is it going to be a 10.5-point spread? Like, if the Rams could win by 9 and you win this bet, and I don't know if 10.5, if I can go with the Rams. So I'm going to say Panthers against the spread, but straight up I'm going with the Rams. The Rams are going to win this game. The Panthers are already ready to, cash in this season, hopefully get that first overall pick, grab a quarterback, and start their new franchise. So yeah, I'm going with the Rams in that one. Then we have the Cardinals taking on the Seahawks. Both these teams are kind of just coasting along in the season. They either surprise everyone with a win or they just keep losing. DeAndre Hopkins is coming back. So, the Cardinals are giving 2.5 on the road. I'm going with the Cardinals in this one. I just think they're a slightly better team. And that's all I got to say about that one. It's a bird game, and there's not much to really rave about. But this next one is something to rave about. You got the Buffalo Bills, 4-1, taking on the 4-1 Chiefs. Winner of this one takes sole position, number 1 in the AFC. The Chiefs are getting 2.5. So the Las Vegas thinks so highly of Buffalo that the Chiefs are getting 2.5. The Chiefs are home. This is going to be a fantastic game. I really wish this was like Monday night, Thursday night, because this is going to be a real, real good game. I want the Chiefs to win. And the fact that they're getting 2.5, I'm picking the Chiefs to win with the spread. But I honestly think this is going to be a crazy good game. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I don't think the Chiefs' defense will be able to stop Buffalo. I don't think Buffalo's defense is going to be able to stop the Chiefs. And it all revolves around 2 of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, in Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. I'm going with the Chiefs, getting the slight edge because they are home. I know Buffalo Bill fans are going to get on me about that, but we'll see. And then we have the Sunday night game, the Dallas Cowboys taking on those Philadelphia Eagles. This is a good game. It's a good Sunday night game. If the Cowboys can pull it off and beat Philly, then all of a sudden no undefeated team. The 72 Dolphins are going to pop their champagne and toast one for Don Shula. Cowboys are getting 4.5. They're in Philly. I'm calling an upset here. And I think the Cowboys win this one. I think their defense is enough to stop Hurts and that offense. I'm going to say the Cowboys win this one, and they not shut down, like it's going to be a scoreless game. I think it's going to be a really good game, but I think the Cowboys win this one, and they beat the Eagles. And no more winless team. And the 72 Dolphins can breathe a sigh of relief. And then we have the Monday night game, the Broncos taking on the Chargers. The Broncos are just Chargers giving them 5. Broncos are they're bad. You trade all that for Russell Wilson, and he is not the quarterback he used to be. Chargers are up and down, up and down, up and down. People are going to say, "Oh, well, Herbert's dealing with an injury and this and that," and then Bosa's dealing. But the Chargers are hot and cold, hot and cold, hot and cold. I am going to go with the Chargers with this one. I don't think the Broncos are good. I think Russell Wilson's not the guy who he used to be. I think in hindsight, giving up all those picks for him, the Seahawks obviously won that one. I'm going to go Chargers with this one. And then finally, we have, scan to it, Minnesota Vikings, 4-1, taking on the Dolphins, licking their wounds, beat up team 3-2. If you want to know who I'm picking, you got to check out Friday's preview video where I talk about this game. It's an important game. It's a very important game. Vikings defense is not that good. They're really relying on their offense. And the Dolphins are just banged up. Hopefully, Teron Armstead's back. Austin Jackson's back. Xavier Howard's back. If those 3 guys can be back, all of a sudden, this is a different team. Can play a little bit of different ball. Very, very big game for the Miami Dolphins. They need to turn this around, especially if my picks go the way they do and the Packers beat the Jets and the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Bills, then all of a sudden the Miami Dolphins are sole possession of the AFC East and are 2nd seed. So the Dolphins need to win this game. Very, very, very big on that. But be sure to comment below. Let me know what you guys think. If I picked for your team, let me know. If I picked against your team, let me know why I'm wrong. But I'm going to get to one of your guys' comments of the day. And this comment comes from Halinar Racing, and he says, comment of the day, Doug, what would your thoughts be if we traded Gesicki away, or Gesicki, some people hate that I throw a Z in there, it's just my accent, Jersey accent, away for an offensive tackle slash guard on the condition that Smythe isn't already out long-term with an injury? I expect now the Dolphins are in a situation right now where they're, especially the way they went about their offseason, they're in a buying mode when it comes to getting closer to the trade deadline versus a selling mode. Normally they were in a selling mode trying to bolster up the roster and get draft picks to continue. They're in a win now mode, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if they traded Mike Gesicki, but I don't know if it'd be for an offensive lineman. Roquan, get a linebacker, help out this defense. We desperately need linebackers. He doesn't want to be in Chicago. But also, now that the Panthers are cleaning house, they might be interested in getting rid of some of their talent. There's a lot of things, a lot of possibilities out there. Gesicki kind of is just an odd man out. He's disappeared. He's not really targeted much. So he is a possibility of a trade. We'll see how that all pans out, but I do think that the Dolphins are going to be more of a buyer than a seller during the trade deadline. But we'll talk about that when we get closer to that. It's going to be another video in itself. But that's what I got for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Go check out Prize Picks. Fantastic app. Use the promo code DDW. Get 100% of your deposit up to $100 matched. I will see you guys tomorrow, me and Big O, and then Friday previewing. And then I'm back Sunday live streaming the Dolphins taking on the Minnesota Vikings. I missed you guys during the live stream. This one's going to be a good one. But other than that, like usual, stay classy. Fins up.